It's the celebrity wedding shocker of the year. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively got married over the weekend in what was a super secret ceremony. No one seemed to know anything about it until it was over. Well, tonight we have brand new details about how Ryan and Blake kept their nuptials under wraps. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's family and friends gathered near Charleston, South Carolina to watch them tie the knot, while we didn't have any idea what was going on. 60 people in all invited to this lavish affair, including designer Christian Louboutin. So just how did two of Hollywood's biggest celebrities manage to keep their star-packed wedding so hush-hush? Well, our friends over at People magazine were right there as the Green Lantern co-stars exchanged their vows. People staff writer Carlos Greer joins me now in New York. So, Carlos, I got to know, because this is tough to do in Hollywood these days, how did Ryan and Blake keep their wedding such a surprise?
You know what? The same way they kept their relationship under wraps. I mean, this is a couple who's very private. They've been hush-hush about even being together. They just started dating a little over a year ago. But this ceremony, they blocked off. They got married in a small plantation in South Carolina. Signs went up. The locals, they weren't allowed into the plantation. And guests, they weren't allowed to use their cell phones. They kept it really private and intimate. Only family and friends were invited. There were about 60 guests there. So this was all about only inviting people who are extremely close to them and letting them know.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of confidentiality agreements being signed by anybody who was working on the wedding, if they even had any idea who the wedding was for. And as you said, we didn't even know these two were dating officially anyway. So when the news broke of Ryan and Blake's top secret marriage, it really shocked everybody in Hollywood. But what about the people around them? I mean, they had to know this was happening.
Well, you know what? The people around them, they know this couple, and they know that they're deeply in love with each other. They're very fun with each other. If you were at that wedding, you really got a sense of who they are as a couple. It was a very whimsical ceremony. It was playful. Their eyes were beaming over each other. He was doting over Blake. And so you really got a sense of who they are as a couple.
And there were no paparazzi anywhere? Nobody got tipped off that this was going on?
No paparazzi anywhere. There was a local radio station in South Carolina who was hinting at a potential wedding, because the reason they got married there is because Ryan loves this small town, and he was in town, but no one knew that they were actually getting married. They knew there was an event at this plantation, but no one knew it was Blake and Ryan's wedding.
Yeah, and it is one of the most beautiful places in our country. So People magazine was right there, Carlos. You were at the wedding. You got to listen to the vows. You got a close-up look at Blake's dress and the ring. What was the most surprising thing about the whole secret celebrity wedding for you guys?
Well, you know what? A lot of people don't realize that Florence Welch, she's a really great friend to Blake. They're really good friends. And it was really touching because she sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and Blake got teary-eyed, and Ryan was just looking at her in complete awe. So that was a very sweet and special moment at the wedding.
And I have to imagine if Christian Louboutin was in attendance, she was probably wearing Christian Louboutin shoes on her feet. That's just a guess.
Well, you know what? She looked stunning. She wore a Marchesa gown. She had natural makeup. She opted to not wear a veil. Even the gown was designed by her friends. This is how intimate this wedding was.
Wow.
The gown was designed by her friends. Burberry did Ryan's tux as well as the groomsmen. So it was a really intimate wedding for family and friends.
She always looks stunning. All right, Carlos Greer, thank you very much.